You know what's funny is like I am blessed and fortunate to have mom and dad, right? Because I always talk about this when guys win or they become successful or something, they always say thanks mom. And my mom dope, don't get it twisted, but my pops is like a real dad. You know what I'm saying? And he always been that for my family. We was playing against the Lakers, and this was when I was with the Clippers, and it was our away game, and we was up by like 20 or 30 or something like that, and the people who sit in the courtside seats had left already. So my son was sitting like 2 or 3 rows behind, and I asked my wife to let him come sit over there, right? Game wasn't over or whatnot, but my son came and sat down there close. And I remember it was on one of them shows the next day, and they was like, how disrespectful is this? The game is still going on. Chris Paul got his son sitting over there. And I remember being so hot in a world where they always talk about us not being dads and not being fathers and not being present and all this. My son had just left a doctor and found out that he was gonna have to have this surgery, and we was leaving to go on the road the next day. So yeah, I'm at work, but I seen an opportunity to be dad for a second, right? So I brought him down there, and I remember just watching them talking heads like, y'all done lost y'all mind, you know? And that's why I think I'm so excited now that I see Deuce, right? Jason Tatum's son, out on the court before the game, you know what I mean? Yeah. Being, like JT is a dad, you know what I'm saying? He gonna go out there and do his job and work and all that stuff, but he a dad. I was probably one of the first ones, I don't know, like that, used to bring him to the press conferences with me, right? I used to take Chris to the press conferences with me after games, and he'd say wild stuff or whatnot, but for them 40 minutes, 48 minutes while I'm out there on the court playing, I'm locked in. I'm locked in. But when the game over and we break it down, I'm dad. Y'all know what it's like being a professional athlete, early mornings, working out, training or whatnot. And so I've always tried to be that because I had a dad who like worked. My pops, man, he found a way. He made a way. He coached all my teams, right? He coached all my teams. And I don't get to do that, right? And so I've always just tried to be as present as I can be in a world that is extremely abnormal.
One of the pillars of the playbook is the destruction of the family. Okay, the New World Order, they don't want any families. The children belong to the state. That's kind of going to be easier to control you if the parents aren't educating the children. So one of the first things they did when they introduced feminism, okay, was to break down the family and let the woman go into the workforce. Now you got both parents working, and they call it occupationally orphaning the children. Now there's nobody to watch the children. Now you're putting your children in daycare centers and things like that, or you're taking them to school and allowing the state to give them the education. And it's going to be a substandard education. The education in public school is so woeful. I tutored high school graduates, children that got their diploma coming out of high school, and they can barely spell or use grammar or anything like that. That's what's going on right now. It's ridiculous.
It took me 3 years.